And what is interesting of the myriad problems which the world is facing right now, and that includes China, from the pandemic to climate change to a really bad economy, Hong Kong, and revising the city's constitution essentially is up there with all of that. Seems very odd.
Yep, and again, the political fate of Hong Kong has been fundamentally altered in Beijing. It was just announced at the National People's Congress, today is the opening day in Beijing, that the usually pro-Beijing election body that picks the chief executive or the top leader of Hong Kong will be picking members of the legislative council, that's the parliament in Hong Kong. This is significant. This effectively cements Beijing's ambition to have Hong Kong run by patriots, by people who love Hong Kong, who love China, and love the Chinese Communist Party. Earlier today, we heard from Li Keqiang, China's premier. He read the work report for 2021, and in it, he talked about the need to secure the stability of Hong Kong, as well as neighboring Macau. It read this, quote, "We will resolutely guard against and deter external forces' interference in Hong Kong and Macau affairs. We will support both regions as they grow their economies, improve people's lives, so as to maintain long-term prosperity and stability." And that has been the theme of the National People's Congress so far, about prosperity, stability, economic growth. We heard from Li Keqiang earlier today that economic growth target that was released for 2021. China hopes to achieve above 6% GDP growth this year. Last year, it did not release a GDP target, citing disruptions due to the pandemic. We also learned that China plans to add 11 million new urban jobs this year. Military spending will increase. In fact, the defense budget will increase some 6.8% in 2021. We also got new details about the 5-year plan. That's that bold plan to boost domestic spending, reduce high-tech reliance on overseas. There will be an increase in spending on R&D, 7% year on year the next 5 years. John.
It's interesting how Beijing wants patriots to run Hong Kong, and those who love Hong Kong. I mean, you could argue that maybe the 47 defendants in that national security trial, which has been ongoing, are patriots for some, and they love Hong Kong just as much. And their trial is coming to an end. What are the details there?
Yeah, well, the bail hearing finally reached an end, and it's been an excruciating process. 47 charged with the very serious crime of subversion under the national security law. This hearing started on Monday, spilled over into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. A number of defendants had to be hospitalized because of exhaustion. The chief magistrate ruled that initially 15 could be released out on bail, but in the end, all 47 remanded into custody, including Claudia Mo, the former pro-democracy opposition lawmaker. I mentioned her because last year at the National People's Congress, when the NPC made that announcement of the national security legislation being passed, weeks before it became law and imposed in Hong Kong. When that happened, she said that this was the beginning of a, quote, sad and traumatizing era for Hong Kong. She said they have taken away our souls. Claudia Mo is now one of the 47 activists who are in custody, charged with the serious crime of subversion, punishable with up to life in prison. John.